Hey soul family, welcome to the Matrix Oracle. My name is Audrey. This is your cosmic weather forecast and it's for the first quarter moon in the sign of Leo. So I do like to work around the cosmic dance, especially between the sun and the moon. And I'll tell you why. Okay, some of you are new to the page. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. The sun and the moon, in terms of receiving their energy, their cosmic flow through your spine, through Kundalini, is connected to your third eye, okay? And when we have the new moon, they kind of merge together, and then we have the moon dancing around. So what we know and what we don't know. So what happens at the new moon, they are creating together an intention for 28 days. Then we know the full moon is about 14 days later, and that's when we have an illumination of the path of celebrating our efforts and kind of like seeing where we at in that manifestation. But in between, we do have after a week after the new moon and a week after the full moon, we have first or last quarter moon. And what people forget is that, yes, it's 28 days of intention. I love that you know that, Queen of Freestyle. What we have is that the sun and the moon are creating a square. So, welcome here. I call myself the Queen of Squares, and I'll tell you why, because that's the most secret geometry that I hold in my natal chart. And that means that you're going to learn a lot through friction, conflict. So kind of, being like with someone and just not being fully opposite, but kind of like, I don't really see this. So some people, if you have a lot of conflicts in your life, or if you notice that you're always caught in the middle of conflicts, go and check out your squares, okay? And you'll know squares are those red lines. We got plenty of that. And as we see here, the sun, as I promised, squaring with the moon, okay? And the placement right now of the sun is in the last degrees of Taurus, and it's squaring the moon in the last degrees of Leo, okay? So what it's creating a very, very strong effect of us having to go within. And if you're ignoring the nudge to go within, you're going to feel this friction more and more so. But now know that this call to go within is actually for a really, really good cause. And I'm saying that because remember, some of you, if you did not watch the new moon in Taurus, right now our 28 days of intention collectively is to give us a second chance on things that maybe we have given up on, things that we really love. So for 28 days, we're receiving a lot of insights about how to restart or how to approach something that we are fondly devoted to manifest. So some of you, if you've been trying to manifest something over and over and kind of feeling like it's never getting exactly there, this cycle of 28 days is perfect. So what we're seeing here, a week after this collective intention, is that we are receiving not only the solar flare, solar storm, okay, those storms, they're actually giving you a lot of insights for those next steps. But the way we receive it and the way it's going to unlock is going to be very personal. So what I'm seeing, like as an astrologer, the first thing that stands out like boom, booyah, okay, is all this energy that is coming from the first house and the 12th house. Now, this exact point here, okay, is where we have the rising. The rising is where we say in terms of energy work, we're receiving the soul. We're receiving the energy of the sun rising. That's why it's called the rising sign. Okay, and now this point where we have the rising for this first quarter is in the last degrees of Aries, which is about light, bringing the light, the divine light on things that maybe we didn't know, we didn't, we really want, because it's about manifestation, it's about creation. How do we set the ground for this manifestation? And the last degrees are highlighting this ground for you. So what is going on is that we're being called within to look at what can be received from the ancestors, from some of the past events and past visions that you receive. Some of you, this is a great time where a lot of your pieces of the puzzle of your life are going to make sense. Okay? So some of you, if you've ever had like moments where like, what the F is going on, and why am I going through this, and why in my life did I go through this? So you might be called to reminisce a lot on certain things, and it's going to look and be different for everyone, but it's going to really show you how those dots, how those events are all connected. This is why you're being called within, is to kind of like, while you're meditating, receiving this energy. So what I usually do, and that's something, you guys, I'm going to create a tutorial after I finish this live for you to have access to the data of this first quarter moon, okay? And then connect it to your birth chart, because I do offer moon energy readings. And this morning when I work with my Kundalini energy, I was feeling my solar like crazy. And I'm getting ready for this, and I'm like, what is going on between my chart and this? And guess what? The solar plexus, if you don't know, it's connected to Mars and Pluto. So Aries, bunch of Aries, okay? And then here Pluto, Scorpio, okay? So here Kali is in that energy. So I was feeling this, but also looking at my chart, my Mars and my Pluto were being quincunxed. This little dotted line, tick, 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 tick. Some of you, if you're new to the channel, this, if I have to illustrate the quincunx as far as this energy, it feels like, okay, a punch in the face, and you're just like, what happened? Or just something very sudden, because it just zaps you. And it zaps you because it's trying to show you something, okay? And whether or not we're listening is how we go smoothly or not through this energy, okay? So that's what I want to invite you. There's a lot here as far as your subconscious that you're retrieving in terms of being able to alchemize, and certain patterns of feeling that your life makes no sense. If some of you felt like you're feeling lost, you don't know, why did I go this way? Why did I make this decision? Why did I choose to study this? And why did I give up on this? There's going to be a lot that is going to come together to show you that you're exactly where you're meant to be. And that's something that we hear, okay, that we know at a higher level and scale. But right now, the energies are blessing us with not just the knowing, but also the confirmation through putting together certain things. So you will see and manifest certain events in your life that are going to show you the correlation of why you had to go through certain things. And I don't know about you guys, but personally, it made me feel good, okay? I want to share with you guys a little story because it came to me as part of processing all this energy. Some of you, if you don't know, like when I'm connecting to the cosmos, I know that everything that I go through, there is a higher purpose for a message. So I have a garden, and this is the first year that I'm going to be planting tomatoes. So I keep on telling everyone, hey, I'm going to be planting my first tomatoes. Hey, I'm going to be planting my first tomatoes. Only to repeat it again and again, subconsciously. And the more that I would repeat this, the more I would remember, wait a second, there's a story, Audrey, about tomatoes. And all of a sudden, I think it was 2 days ago, I remember, again, this 12th house energy that is coming to manifest, okay, the manifestation of the first house of who you are becoming. I'm remembering in my early 20s, having this very nostalgic energy and being like, feeling that there was something that was missing in me that was going to fulfill me. And I was like connecting to this energy of happiness. And I'm like, what am I missing to feel happy? And I connected to my heart, and the craziest vision came. I saw myself grow and tend to tomatoes. So I told this story to my boyfriend 2 days ago, and he's like, who? Who imagines planting and growing tomatoes when they're in their 20s and link this to happiness? This girl. So it made no sense. At the time in my mid-20s, I'm like, something is missing in my life. I want this to be fulfilled in my heart. I want the happiness that I feel is calling me. And I see myself with tomatoes. Okay, now, 2 days ago, I planted my first tomatoes. And I was like, oh my God, I am here. I am there. I am where I thought I was going to go, but it made no sense. Okay, so I'm sharing this little story because those are exactly the way the universe is going to show you the same thing. Okay, might be a different story. You might have had like some weird other, little visions. Thank you so much, you guys. Yes, I feel like it's a strong celebration. I will post my picture of me and my tomatoes. I mean, they're not grown yet. Okay, so we have to wait until I can eat them. But yeah, it is the illustration of this first quarter moon. Go within, take the time to feel what the cosmic flares, the energies, is the sacred dance of the sun and the moon. Because the sun and the moon is all about your third eye. It's about unveiling. It's about, really being able to uplift the veil of illusion and seeing that you're not separated. You're not separated from this. So it's almost like the girl that I was in my 20s and now I'm 45, they were connected by the tomatoes. Okay. Which is interesting because I also planted potatoes and I got already 5 potatoes. And I don't know if some of you know about this song. You say tomato and I say tomato. You say potato and I say potato. Okay, I used to sing this song. And with my French accent, I was always like confused. How do I say tomato or tomato? Anyways, all this to share the little stories because this is how you're going to know what the universe is saying to you. This is how the universe speaks. It speaks in emotions. So I did not know why I was getting so excited about my tomato plants, but I was letting myself just say, hey, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Wait, it means something. Why do I keep on saying this? And it did. It clicked. So this is what the energy right now is allowing us to receive. So some of you, what I suggest, you might want to go into my YouTube frequency channel, and I have a moon frequency. So you can receive this. Now, you're seeing this is a very strong, those degrees of Leo are super connected to your heart-mind coherence. So that means that's exactly what I said. Your visions, your visions for your future, your visions for what is meant for you, everything that you've always fantasized about having is going to start putting this together. So you're going to have a greater step-by-step way to go about this, but it's going to be very energetic. Okay, so that's what I have for you guys for this first quarter moon in Leo. Go and check out, once I have this ready, the tutorial if you want to look at the synastry. So that's like the interaction between this and your chart, and see if you're being zapped, okay? And yeah, and if you want to meditate, I highly suggest the moon frequency for all those little moon events. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Namaste.